So getting Monday, the 6th of March, started here on Frontier Openibele. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. I am Bosin Omofaye. Just a quick rundown of our markets, just a few markets on Frontier Africa. The Nigerian stock market finished off on the positive side, a little bit above 1% for on a week-on-week basis. But Friday, the market fell by 0.25%. A bit of profit taking started later towards the end of last week as we saw big names such as Nestle, Nigerian Breweries, Dangote Cement, MTN, and a few others reporting very robust earnings for full year 2022. The BRVM climbed 15 basis points to 206.18 on Friday. The Egyptian stock market started Sunday, the first trading day of the week, down by 11 basis points. That's EGX30. The Nairobi stock market was down by just 3 basis points Friday, while the GSC went up roughly 1%, 78,293. A very major announcement today by President Cyril Ramaphosa as far as his cabinet is concerned. But that's in the news. But let's just get on through the East African corridor, checking a few big headlines in that region. With Safaricom rolling out a new app which is called an ATM Vicinity Check that enables to track frauds that may occur at automated machines across the country. Trust no one in cryptocurrency. That was from Jack Dorsey, the founder of Twitter. A multi-choice Kenya is raising tariffs for Kenyans who are subscribing to his DSTV and GoTV. Those charges will go about 10% from the month of April. And Ethiopia's Capital Market Authority, or the SEC, has publicly released 3 directives and asking for public comments and consultations as far as the plans to set up a new stock exchange is concerned for Ethiopia. Ethiopia already has a very robust commodity exchange, the ECX, based in Addis Ababa. And MTN Rwanda reporting for full year 2022, the bottom line, as you can see, is in the red, down by 2.8%. Earnings per share down by almost the same margin. Revenue, however, climbed 19.2%. EBITDA, earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, was up by 20.8%. But net profit went in a negative direction. Okay, so let's talk about West Africa, where Nigerians and businesses are snubbing the decision late last week by the Supreme Court asking the central bank and the government to step back until December this year and allow 200, 500, and 1,000 naira old notes to circulate freely until December the 31st. That announcement came, but news on the ground shows that businesses and Nigerians are shunning that order because there's no word yet from the central bank as far as compliance is concerned. So folks are ignoring spending the old notes. And of course, there's so much scarcity of it, by the way. In the meantime, earnings week for Nigerian markets, with Nigerian breweries paying a dividend of about 13.8 billion as gross dividend. Lafarge Africa reporting EBITDA about 23% upside. Earnings season has been really good for a number of Nigerian companies. Now we're waiting for the big banks to release their numbers later this month. And Flutterwave Nigeria issued a statement over the weekend and said the news that a couple of billions of naira was stolen from his account was untrue. This came in on the social media over the weekend. The Flutterwave's account has been hacked into, but the iconic Nigeria's fintech company says there is no truth to that particular news. And French President Emmanuel Macron has completed his latest round of trips across Africa in a number of countries, including Gabon and Libreville, where he says that the age of Francafrique is over. He says there's a need for Paris to have a new deal with Africa that will no longer be under the umbrella or the shadows of France. And that was part of his message as he toured the African continent last week. This is about his 15th tour of the African continent since he became the French president back in 2017. And Sahara Assurance of Cote d'Ivoire has opened an Islamic compliant product, what is called the Takaful insurance for those who want to do Sharia compliance services. So today we're expecting at 7 p.m. dinner time in South Africa to hear from President Ramaphosa. 28-member cabinet is expected to be reshuffled. Their announcement was expected to be sometime in the third week of February. That was postponed to today. We're expecting that to happen. Key focus will be who becomes the new energy minister, as we saw until Saturday, the rolling load shedding by Eskom, the troubled energy giant. So that will be one key focus in tonight when you hear from President Ramaphosa. Zimbabwe's private government and the private sector are heading to London for the UK Capital Markets Roadshow later in April on the 10th. And Zimbabwe says it will include dollar items price in US dollar terms in computing the country's official inflation. That will help rebalance Zimbabwe's inflation, which is currently has a basket of all items priced only in Zimbabwean dollar. And not so good news from Botswana's Leshego Holdings, which is listed on the Botswana's stock exchange. The holding company is looking, according to news sources, to exit its operations in Kenya, in Tanzania, as well as Rwanda, because of lack of enough revenue from those operations outside home country of Botswana. And finally, in North Africa, and that's where it all started. And the good news is that the Premier Bank of Somalia is now making an inroad into East Africa. So it's buying about 62.5% equity stake in First Community Bank of Kenya. And we say congratulations to that deal. The Attijari Wafa Bank, listed on the Morocco Stock Exchange in Casablanca, has posted $2.5 billion in net banking income for full year 2022, while Morocco and the European Union have signed 500 million euros in financial package for reform projects in the country. And that's part of the relationship between the EU on one hand and Morocco in North Africa. The International Monetary Fund has launched about $115 million emergency plan for South Sudan. And that's about it for today, this Monday on Your Frontier Opening Bell. I am Boston Amofaye. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.